I got serious after I sold my business in 2001 to Whole Foods about trying to figure out the real deal. And that's when I spent some serious time with Catherine. But I was spending many, many hours a day for years just trying to understand. But starting with a very key issue that was dear to my heart, which was the Kennedy assassination, as it was dear to you. And I came across this very monumental book that changed my life, which was Fletcher Prouty's The Secret Team.
Uh-huh.
So that is always on my number one, reading list for people that want to learn about the deep state. Because here's a guy that was basically the liaison between every intelligence operation in the military. And he never signed a non-disclosure, but he was one of the guys that had almost total visibility and then went on to talk about how things really work.
Yeah.
This book of yours is, to me, of equal importance. So in a way, I feel there's not been another book that is as important on the deep state and what we're facing as this book that you've come up with. Now, one of the reasons it's so important is it's incredibly well documented. When you make these claims that at first somebody just reading the text would go, huh? And then you have these, on every page, 3, 4, 5 footnotes at the bottom. Oftentimes they refer directly to military documentation, prime sources, and researchers in the field. But as I read your book, I always outline, but every page has copious linings. And then I also, on very, very key points, I use arrows. And there's more arrows in this book, I think, than any other book I've ever read. Okay, so I just want people to understand, and this is also on Catherine's, books you must read to understand 2018 and the future and how to protect yourself. This is a masterpiece, Miss Freeland. And I've known you now for a number of years. I've been a big fan and support of yours, but I'm actually a little bit startled by the depth of the scholarship represented in this book. And no longer is there any doubt about chemtrails, okay?
No.
What they call chemtrails. No longer is there any doubt about geoengineering. But even much more significant, no longer is there any doubt about this massive effort to control, to surveil, to almost create a prison planet, like InfoWars, like Alex Jones. I always wondered why, he calls himself prisonplanet.com. So just take a minute, because I'm wanting to use this session as a relatively short one that introduces you to the subscribers who don't know you, but in more detail, and to introduce them to this book, and to introduce them to some key references that'll be in the notes. And I want to then come back in the future and spend serious time, maybe chapter by chapter, going over your book. That's how important it is. So, what's the space fence?